Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrating the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sit Down, Shut Up, Marco, Don Blade Daily, and joined once again by my friend, my homie, Books and Bodyslams. Books!
Hello. Again, you're here, and I'm down here in terms of energy levels.
Yeah, well, the levels of energy we're putting out are different, for sure. So if today is a little stilted, like, by the end of the show, we're going to switch places. Books is going to be super caffeinated, and I'm going to be asleep. So we both took naps before the show, and it had a very different effect on the two of us. I feel insane.
And I feel like I could still nap. Like, I took an almost a 2-hour nap. Like, I think that was the problem.
That's too long of a nap. That's really way too long of a nap. You had a half day today, right?
Yes, because
they let the kids out early today?
Honestly, I have a new manager now. So I told my new manager, these are my mental health days. Because I don't hate everyone I work with, but people I work with annoy the shit out of me. So I'm taking half days for the rest of the summer for Fridays so I can take back my sanity and ignore everyone.
Yeah. Just get yourself back to a tolerable level of annoyance where you're just like, to where I can even look you fuckers in the face.
I don't even have to look at them because I talk to them on Teams because they're not in my office.
Oh, I see.
So I don't have to talk to them in person. Thank the fuck.
So you're interfacing with people remotely.
Yes.
You're in an office, but they're
in another
office somewhere.
Yeah. But let's go back to the office 5 days a week for collaboration for me to sit on my fucking headphones all day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I haven't worked in an office in 8 years and I'm looking for work right now. And boy, I am not excited about that idea. There's a lot less remote work than there was the last time I found a job.
I every time I see like LinkedIn or Indeed send me a job and I'm like, nah, not remote. I don't give a shit.
If you got a remote job, hold on to it until you can't, you know? Pippin says 60 to 90 minute naps are ideal. Okay. Have you guys have done the power nap though? Like the 15-minute power nap. Have you done that?
My ideal nap is 30 minutes.
Yeah. My ideal nap is like 15. And then you can you just get enough of sleep to where when you power back up, you're like up. And I ended up falling asleep for like 45 minutes. And then that was too much. Beef Mordos is in the chat. Happy AEW Friday. Remote jobs are as great as Blade's freaking awesome hat.
Why are we being nice?
That's right. Thanks, Beef Mordos. Then says, I'm still working you SOB.
No, just say, fuck it.
It's okay, Beef Mordos. You're with friends, though. And that's what matters. Where everybody knows your name. All right. Anyway.
Can I say a fun fact? I really but I'm not a fan of the show Cheers.
And you're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see. Troubles are all the same. You want to know where you'll go, where everybody knows your name. That's James Hetfield from Metallica singing the Cheers song. That's what I was just doing there. Anyway, you're welcome. All right, Books, you've heard of my AEW, correct?
Yes, but it's because it's not an app and I have to watch it on my phone. I have not really utilized it.
Well, nor had I, friend. Nor had I until I realized I could just watch it on my Roku. So I downloaded the app, and then I was like, "This is for foreigners and weirdos, right? This isn't made for me, right? It couldn't be, could it? Well, turns out, friend, it is. I went on that app and was gobsmacked by the amount of options that there are for indie wrestling to watch CMLL, pay-per-views. I bought a 3-show package of CMLL with English commentary with Veda Scott doing the commentary. It was awesome. Like I was saying, I'm a big fan of English commentary because I get to actually know the characters more that I'm watching. So it was pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
I wonder if I can get it on my Fire Stick or my smart TV.
I think you can. I think it's on Amazon. It's got the Fire Stick.
You know, you can come at me all you want, but I'm not giving up my Fire Stick because I'm too lazy to re-sign into everything.
MJF Swerve on the show. Time to do that match, says Kevin Abreu. Are you sure it's not AEW Radio? I am quite sure it's not AEW Radio, Kevin.
You can. I just Googled it. Yeah. So guess what I'm doing after this?
Are you going to watch my AEW?
I'm at least going to put it on my TV.
Okay. Smart. Hey, there you go. But yeah, I didn't realize you can go watch like MJF and Chris Statlander matches from like 2017. Like, it's crazy. So there's a lot of cool shit on there.
It'd be really great if they made a phone app. Like, let's just be real. That way I can watch it at work or when I'm like doing chores or something. Because I have to wear my headphones if I'm like doing dishes or something. Just to kind of not be overstimulated. So
I basically have to have something in my ears, like a podcast, music, something happening at all times. If I have to stop doing that to actually do a project, I get really upset. And it's not reasonable and it's not practical. And I probably have a sad addiction to something that I'm not even aware of right now. But what I'm going to be addicted to is my AEW because it is really good. They, AEW, they basically left Triller, right? And now they've sued Triller for back pay. There's a lot of companies that have used Triller that never got paid. And they basically recreated Triller. Like it's crazy. So very, very cool.
This is just another way why AEW shows how much they love wrestling.
Yeah, it is really like a collaborative effort. And it's much more than just AEW stuff. So if you have Max already and you already have pay-per-views you bought over on Max like me or whatever, you don't have to watch pay-per-views. They don't have the entire catalog of shows, yet. So your Max is still worth something. But you can log in for free and just go watch a bunch of shit you probably never thought of before.
I was, however, watching old episodes of AEW on Max the other day. Like I was watching Jericho and MJF and their weird crooner stuff because it was just so funny to look back on. And I kind of miss some of that ridiculousness. And I kind of, as we're doing like the best hits of Jericho, I kind of would love to see them do that again.
What was that? Was that called Les Dinner Debonair?
Yes, that's what we just watched that one. And I was dying. I was like, oh my God, I forgot how kind of funny it was.
Can you imagine the freaks on Busted Open Radio just losing their fucking minds about that segment? Like, it was so fucking funny. So and Max is such a great singer.
Such a good singer.
And Jericho sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jericho's not a good singer. Le Champion.
I kind of would love to see them bring that back because it was really funny to go back and rewatch. And like, Britt Baker had a match and Rebel was in it. And it was just, that was kind of like heartbreaking. But it's so fun to go back and watch these old episodes. So.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. I have watched the Fast channel a few times when I haven't known what else to do. So I've just put on the Fast channel to have in the background while I'm doing other shit. And more often than not, I just end up like watching the show and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Also,
it was Pete Cleaner, Kenny. So I was.
Yes. Big time.
I was in heaven.
Izzy Too Chill says, I think I'm going to go watch my AEW now. Tony Khan, pay me. You owe me. I'm already bringing people to the product. You see?
Yeah,
see
seriously,
the difference I'm making for
you,
pal?
I'm a shill. I'm still waiting on Tony to pay me. So.
Yeah, I'm a shill who works for free.
Yeah, we're stupid.
We're bad shills. We're not good at this. We are not good at being shills.
No.
But as much as I highly recommend my AEW to anyone from anywhere, I would have also recommended this week's Dynamite. However, can't vouch for the crowd.
I see this
Las Vegas.
I will even say I don't know if it was the crowd, but this was one of my least favorite episodes of the year. And to me, it was just a B. Like, it wasn't even a bad show.
The show was fine. The crowd, I thought, really brought it down.
Yeah, the crowd really ruined it.
The biggest assholes are the ones sitting right by the crowd mics. So they're very, very loud, trolling, you know.
Yeah.
Who the fuck roots for David Finlay? Like, those people should have been ejected for that. Like, the entire crowd should have just rioted at that point.
On the upcoming episode of the Books and Beck show, you will hear Bex, Shane, and I bitch about this and the lack of respect that when fans behave certain ways like they did in the crowd.
Well, and then that one guy during the Mercedes segment dead naming her, you know, fucking calling her by that name by which she should not be called.
Yeah. The wrestler who walked out of there because she felt disrespected. How is that? Why would she go home anytime soon? Like home, home,
right.
It's so disrespectful.
And so they were just reacting very weirdly during like important moments.
Let's not forget
and it just,
who's headquartered in Vegas. So our working theory is that because you can tell the way they were rooting for the enhancement talent, that there was probably a good chance that some of these people were fellow indie wrestlers and were probably being paid off by another company that is headquartered in Vegas to go there and be asshole.
Not to be conspiratorial or anything.
Hey, you know what? Mercedes said it. So she did. If Mom can say it, I can say it.
Yeah.
Mama said it was okay.
Too Fat to Cook says he cringes every time Jericho tries to sing like Freddie Mercury. I do too. I do too. Dr. Fusion thought Las Vegas sucked. Pippin thought they sucked. Dr. Fusion said it could also be the venue, but the trolls need to be handled by the audience. That's right. You take them out back. You show them. You give them what for?
Yeah, I want to be.
Or you just tell them like, don't be a dick, man.
I want to be a gatekeepy bitch. So if that ever happens to me, I will be a gatekeepy bitch.
Well, and Yeti Malone makes a fair point. Home is where you make it. And with that said, somebody came home this week on Dynamite that I've been asking, where the fuck is this man?
He was busy doing other shit.
I knew he was busy doing other shit, but I wanted him back on my TV.
Well, he's back now.
He's back. So they said the good, the bad, and the ugly would be out. That's Hangman, Bandido, and Brody King. That they had something to say. So they came out, and Hangman does, shucks, would you guys mind if a white boy tried to speak some Spanish? And he was just about to when Swerve's fucking music hit. And Swerve comes out, and oh boy, I got excited because I'm like, him being involved with this particular group of people is exciting to me.
Yeah.
So the demand was already out there. The Lethal Twist was with them. I don't know what's going on with the Lethal Twist and the demand. Like, are they going to merge, or are they like not going to do that?
I think they're coexisting for the minute.
They're like buddy trios teams?
Yeah, they're coexisting for the moment.
Okay. I mean, look, we're seeing all kinds of things that we never knew were possible. And by the way, when did AEW get like a real trios division? Like, all these people now want the trios title so goddamn bad. You know what I mean? Pippin says the Lethal Demand. I'm for it.
I like that.
I like that name. I actually think that's great. So Ricochet came out with the GOA and basically told, Hanger and Bandido and Brody that they sucked and, that they cheated and they wanted those belts back, blah, blah, blah. But the Lethal Twist might take the belts off him first, and that's fine with him. Swerve is out there in the ring. He gets in the ring. The presence of this guy, when he wrestled Ospreay, that might be my match of the year so far. Like, Ospreay and Swerve at Forbidden Door was so good. Swerve pointed out, you guys are trauma bonded. I get it now because I beat Bandido at a pay-per-view. I beat Brody at a pay-per-view, and Hangman, I've beaten you at a lot of pay-per-views. That was clever. That was good. That was a good line. But I thought, it hadn't even occurred to me, these are the only guys Swerve has wrestled this year. Him calling them out was very interesting. And then Hangman, kind of cutting to the chase, says, well, for all the things that you've said, what have you actually done? What have you accomplished? Because Swerve has mostly lost this year. He lost to Andrade. He beat Kenny once. He lost to Kenny the second time. And then he beat Brody and he beat Bandido, and then he lost to Will. So, it's been kind of a rough year for the Swerve. For now. And so
I think All In's going to change that.
I won't lie. When I saw all these guys on the stage and all these guys in the ring, I'm like, okay, there's 4 guys in the ring. There's 6 guys on the outside. I'm like, could they be setting up blood and guts, or not blood and guts? Could they be setting up Anarchy in the Arena? Because that team in the ring would need 2 more people, right? Mm-hmm. It didn't even occur to me that Swerve could be strongly hinting,
really,
that and Ricochet needed you don't even have 2 partners.
I was waiting for him to say something I knew where this was going. To me, I was like, are we getting the full embassy today? Or are they going to set it up where Swerve is going to say, okay, I'll find 2 people. All in, let's go. Mm-hmm. Which is where I think it's going.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy how this guy, Strickland, could disappear for 2 months, 3 months, come back and already just feel like one of the biggest, most important people on the show.
Well, that's because it's Swerve. He is a future face of AEW.
Yeah. Well, and Swerve, Hangman, and Ospreay, that's your main event triumvirate, mm-hmm. and then add Max to that.
Well, no, let's not add Max for that for a while, but
I know.
Let's leave Max out of that for a little bit.
I'm just talking about the future because he's actually younger than everybody we just named.
Oh, yes. That's why we're going to leave him out for a while. He needs some time to cool down.
Yes. Beef Mordos says, when the demand were out, they shouted, is that Jacob's little brother too? Just makes fed heads look desperate when they can't enjoy what they watch, so they destroy what others enjoy. Yeah,
I didn't
totally.
Hear that.
I mean, at the end of the day, guys, when people shit on AEW or whatever, I'm like, dude, at the end of this argument, you're going to go back to your corner and you're going to watch WWE. I'm not. So I've already won, and I know that. Okay. Because I'm not going to watch that garbage and tell myself it was good. So I know that I've won. I've won before we've said a word. You actually have to go watch that shit
and pretend you like it.
Yeah. Have a good time. So the huge implication, they're Bandido and Brody aren't random partners for Hangman because they both have that wrinkle with Swerve, right? Mm-hmm. But I liked what Swerve said to Hangman last year, man. We all went out of our way for you, all this stuff. Not only are you not the champion anymore, you can never be the champion again.
But Swerve is not wrong here. Swerve is correct.
No, he wasn't wrong at all.
He has every right to be annoyed with Hangman.
Yeah.
We all are. I don't think Hangman should have a belt anytime soon. I think he should crawl up the ranks to even deserve anything.
They have this issue with Hangman. I'm not sure if they have an end point for that in mind, it's going to lead to something climatic, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon.
I also wonder if that's going to affect his relationship with the Elite. With Kenny, and if he's going to be annoyed that Kenny was able to do, because they've kind of have played into Hangman's jealousy a little bit with Kenny, so I wonder how that's going to play into it.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because the few times that Kenny and Hanger have been on the screen together, they're dapping it up. They're good buddies and stuff. But Hanger definitely gives Kenny that big bro admiration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's something about their dynamic that is still not that different. Seeing, the GOA and Ricochet and then Swerve, knowing that he's heavily implying he could find some people, for All In. And then with Hangman, Bandido, and Brody, tell me in January if I had told you, yeah, at All In, we're going to be talking about the possibility of Swerve teaming with Kofi and Austin Creed against Ricochet and the Gates of Agony and Hangman, Bandido, and Brody. They're all going to be in one match together. Would anybody we'd all lose our fucking minds. Like that's just wild. So far as I know, these dudes are both free agents now after leaving WWE because they refused to take a fucking 50% pay cut, which made the timing of this whole thing very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm wondering if they're going to appear sooner or they're going to wait for.
Tony is a big fan of that. Hey, it's a surprise, but with a big wink. You know, like we're going to make the surprise so obvious.
Yeah,
but also we're still not going to say for sure, just to give you that little bit of intrigue. You know. Looks like you have some people who agree with you about Max here.
Yeah.
Pippin says Max can stay away for a while. Larry Light says, I'm fine with Max being nowhere near the world title for a while. He had a good run this year. He's going to get many more over the years. That's exactly how I feel.
Don't make him like this. Like, don't overdo it so soon. Like, especially if you want to keep Max in the company. Like, which I think I'm of the belief that Max is going to retire from AEW. Like,
yeah, me too.
Let's slow it down a little bit.
There's no need to rush. I mean, you know, like Charlotte is like what, a 12-time world champion. She's only been wrestling for like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like 12 years, maybe. So that's an average of one world title reign a year. Like, are you fucking out of your minds? And that's why people got so burnt out on her so fast, is because she accomplished too much too soon.
Yeah. It's time to, I'm curious to see where the Max story is going, but I don't want him to win the gauntlet. It's time to have him.
I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to. Beef Morto says first Double or Nothing crowd was good because all of us there traveled from all over the place. That was not a local crowd. I was there as well. We drove there from Seattle, and that was one of the most rabid crowds I can ever remember being in. It was so much fun. But yeah, Vegas, outside of like a special event that you travel for, not the best. Too Fat says, y'all think Swerve was in the lab working on Daybreak's entrance theme?
Yes.
Maybe. Blurry Light says, Jay Lethal looked like the unkest unk to ever unk in this segment. He's unk for sure. Izzy Too Chill says, I hope Daybreak make an appearance on this upcoming
or
Dynamite.
Start teasing them. Like, we all know it's coming. So it's just like, let's like have some fun with it now. Like, it's kind of like FTR all over again. We know it's happening.
Yes. Well, and I think Blurry says it really well here. Like, if they don't come out, like, they'll develop the story more next week, no matter what. Right. Swerve will say, hey, I'm going to find two partners. We'll see you at All In. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine if he says something about like it's going to be a new day or some shit like that? Like, make it very obvious. Like,
so if it's a surprise, people are going to buy the pay-per-view for the surprise.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be people who want to see that more than they want to see Kenny and Ospreay, which is crazy to me. But yes, there will be people like that. So it was a very exciting thing. What do you think personally about Swerve, Kofi, and Creed possibly teaming? Like, they haven't really shared a lot of on-screen stuff together before.
So at first I didn't look. I was like, okay, like, like I kind of, but then I started thinking long-term storytelling because we all know what's going to happen when Daybreak comes. We know the obvious trios that they are going to go up against because it's literally have been written for fucking years about this group. And then I was like, okay. Then I started thinking about Swerve and his issues with this certain group that he has had. He has taken titles, physical titles away from this group. He has been a thorn in a God's side. And then I was like, holy fucking shit. You put the three of them together and then you have them in a long-term story with the Elite. You have, and just the gaming side to all of this is going to be It's going to feed us for years. Like, I think this is potential. Like, every time I'm like, oh, Kenny and the Young Bucks are out, I think they're going to sign for another 2 years just to have a long-term feud with this trios.
Well, and Kenny's got years of injury time to work off his contract. I mean, like, he doesn't need to sign for a while.
Yeah. And I think the Young Bucks will stay as long as, because I think they're going to retire together. But
yeah, I think they go out together. I am interested because I know one time Swerve wore gear that was kind of a tribute to Kofi. I do know that. He did that quite a while ago. Maybe when he was champion. I think he wore some gear that had a little shout out to Kofi in it. So I know that they're probably friendly and they're probably fond of each other. Yeah. But Blurry Line being a troll, can you fucking imagine if Swerve gets 2 mystery partners and it's Parker, Boudreaux, and Trench? No, I can imagine AEW going out of business. That's what I can imagine. Yeti Malone says the people cry out for Trench. No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
So I think putting Swerve with them was the only logical explanation for long-term storytelling right now, because I don't know who else you would team to go against the Elite as a trios.
Well, if they're not going to go right after the Bucks, and it's going to be, that's going to happen at some later date, then putting them in a trio right now makes a lot of sense. I'm very down for it. Which
now makes me think Kenny is definitely losing at All In. The Bucks are going to win the tag team.
Losing.
Probably going to lose the tag team pretty quickly, but I can see Swerve and Daybreak winning the trios and them setting up, them having a couple of matches. The Bucks lose the tag teams, and you then start the Elite verse. A Swerve Day. I don't know what to call them right now, so Swerve Day.
I know that I could see them being a group like the Elite are, where they sometimes they team, sometimes they're
separate.
The team goes and does one thing, and Swerve goes and does his thing. But Kenny and Swerve, they didn't finish their business.
Yeah, that's why this makes all logical sense, because you're going to immediately go into the fact that their history with the Bucks and Kenny, you have to put them in a trios to make the long-term storytelling like that. These 5, well, 6 if you count Big E, have done for fucking years. 4 years. The House of the Breaking Sun. I like that.
House of the Breaking Sun. That's badass. I like that, Pippin. You should pitch that. Holy shit. Actually, we're going to make that a shirt and then sell it to AEW. We're going to be like, well, you got to buy it off because
it's only fair that you start paying us.
Yeah, exactly, you fuckers. Give me a free ticket or something, guys. Give me a merch discount. Jesus. Izzy Too Chill said, I know MJF said it's a new day. Yeah, he did.
None of them are hiding it. Like, as soon as the Bucks did the throwback episode of BTE, watching that, I was like, yep.
Yep. Beef Mordos, I agree with Bleary Line. We yearn for Trench, but I put him in a stable led by the Painmaker. I'm all for bringing Trench back if Trench is played by Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he's like, surprise, I'm Shinsuke Nakamura. All right. Will losing it All In would be so England kind of thing. There's a history of losing the big ones. That is true.
And one of my biggest issues is WWE does too much of having the hometown people lose, whereas AEW always has the hometown person win. So I would like to see a switch up, because sometimes it feels a little obvious when you put the hometown guy in we all, like, when they did Tony versus Mariah, I was like, oh yeah, Mariah May is winning. Like, cause they did it with Saraya. Like, they have a very bad habit of putting hometown heroes on spotlight.
They do. I mean, they can kind of go a little far with that. And I think they are going to, again, on this show, the Brawling Birds are very likely going to defeat Divine Dominion at All In. And Will is definitely going to beat Kenny Omega. I don't see any way around that, because I don't know that All In will be in England next year. I don't know that it will be. Tony Khan hasn't committed to that. So, they haven't announced the location of next year. WWE is going to be out of the country for WrestleMania.
Yeah, they may want their big show. They might want their big headline show here.
And imagine them having the indie weekend, you know, that week of All In, and they take that from WWE. WWE is just, they're chasing the short-term money, but they're going to feel some long-term pain.
I said this on Books and Becks. Bootlicking for indie wrestlers, bootlicking for a company that literally just said, fuck you to indie wrestling and indie promotions by taking WrestleMania out of the country. I don't understand that, because WrestleMania weekend is so much bigger than, it's bigger than WWE. It's a wrestling weekend. And they just screwed
the brand name WrestleMania is very valuable.
And they just screwed WrestleCon, all the indie promotions. I can't imagine being an indie wrestler bootlicking for that company right now.
Yeah.
So I hope AEW jumps in and does something big.
Larry Line says, people say AEW doesn't tell stories, and reuniting the mogul affiliates is long-term storytelling. Shut up, Larry. Shut up. Pippin says we should at least have a sit-down, shut up, mark out coupon code for Shop AEW.
Yeah.
I agree. You know it says Miss May is now the Invisible Woman. Bet she regrets jumping ship now. Yeah, wasn't she eating
she's been eating
with a fork or?
You know, it never has a promo aged so beautifully than Tony Storm's.
Jesus Christ! That's the most prophetic looking shit.
I gotta give WWE credit for continuing the Tony Storm storyline of making Mariah May, Blake Monroe, irrelevant.
I think it's been 100 days or more since she's even been on TV. That's wild. That is crazy.
Well, they have 2 other copies of her already on TV. So
right. And they never want people to look the same or to get confused with each other. And they think people are so dumb that they're going to confuse Blake with Tiffany Stratton. They look that similar, which they actually don't. But they're just both Barbie type blondes, you know? But they look quite a bit different from each other.
But their gimmicks are kind of similar, right? I'm a tough little blonde girly girl.
Last I heard, Blake was kind of doing a Tony Storm tribute act. So I don't know. I don't even know. Skewered Universe says WWE taking WrestleMania to Saudi proves they don't care about anything other than getting their blood money. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So do you think, because Swerve, kind of was more of a heel for the majority of this year. I did notice in the Ospreay match that he was kind of more of a tweener in that match, where he wasn't as hard heel as he had been with Kenny. And so I kind of wonder, would Kofi and Creed be heels? And Swerve stays a heel.
I have a feeling they're gonna, in order to completely, I think, separate themselves from the New Day right now, and the really bad heel turn that they did, in fact, have, I think they are going to want to be a little bit heel-like.
Or have a harder edge, for sure.
I think they're going to want to, I don't think we're getting unicorns and trombones.
No.
I think we're getting a much darker version of Kofi and Austin.
Skewer Universe says, do you really think that Swerve has been a heel with Kenny? Or yeah, I do. Cause he attacked him after he beat him. He cheated to beat him, and then he attacked him with a chain. Remember, after the match? So, I mean, that's pretty heelish, so Swerve had a harder edge. He was starting to get booed, and then he was gone for a long time after he lost to Kenny. And then he came back and he wrestled Bandido, and then he was gone again. Then he came back and he wrestled Brody. Then he was gone again. Then he came back and wrestled Will, and then he was gone again. Oh my God, Beef Mortis. Will New Day make Nana dance again? Yeah, I don't know. Too Fat says, save Julia.
God, yes.
Because you did originally spell it Giuliano, which
And
I
guilt.
I actually kind of like.
And I was like,
Yeah, and guilt. It says save guilt, save Giuliano, save Julia. Yeah, yes. Well done, sir. Well done. Has he been more in line with Mox and just doing what he needs to do? I think that's every character in AEW to a certain degree, where it's like every character is relatable on some level if you want to relate to them. Like, so with Mox, I think Ospreay was the one who was like, hey, I don't agree with the way you do things. This whole like cripple this person so he doesn't cripple me first is like a paranoid, weird way to think about things. And I don't want to do that. Like, because that's what the Death Riders are. I would say to this day, at any other time, the Death Riders are heels.
yeah.
But people want to cheer Mox. That's just the way it is.
See, right now, the characters I see the most similarity are Kenny and Mox. So I am of the belief right now, Mox is retaining the C2, the C. He's winning the cup, and it's going to lead then to the C2 tournament with Kenny. I think they have to have Kenny win the C2 at one point.
I don't know if Kenny can do it. That's the only thing. I mean, it's really grueling to wrestle that high a quality of a match and do it every week. And Kenny isn't really doing that yet. So
I
that's
think
the only concern
Kenny
I would have.
is playing way too much into not being at the level he was. Way too much. I think it's a work.
You're going to be saying this in 10 years. You're going to be like, Kenny's not 55. It's a work.
Excuse me, I called out that he was fucking around with us last year. And who was right?
He took a bunch of time off too, though. Like, I mean, he was gone for a long time.
Because he wasn't ready. And everyone was like, oh, Kenny's washed. And I'm like, no, he's fucking with us. And
Kenny wasn't washed. No.
Look at him now.
Skewer Universe makes a fair point. Mox isn't heel when he's poking Pac's tummy. Agreed. Pippin says blasphemy. Eddie is winning the cup. And Blurry Line just says boop, boop, boop. So I don't want Moxley to win the Continental Challenge Cup, but that's not what we're talking about currently. We'll get back to that in just a minute. I think they need to change. I think they're very aware of this. Kofi and Creed need to change their presentation from the New Day. Like, you don't want them coming in being a bunch of goofballs and shit. Yeah, I would love to see them with a harder edge.
Just having a continued, you have, again, if this is going to lead to Swerve Day versus the Elite, having them both be tweeners makes a lot more sense. Because it's going to get very personal. So.
Yeah. So the trios division's coming together in very unexpected ways. All of a sudden, there's like a bunch of trios, and like the division feels kind of more loaded than it has in forever. Like the last time the trios bouts felt like Tony was really putting any effort into them. I was trying to think of this as like when the Acclaimed dropped them at All In 2 years ago. That was probably the last time they felt important.
Yeah. Again, I think with the potential long-term storytelling between the Elite and Swerve Day, they're trying to make the trios sound important again right now, because it's going to go on these 6 legendary people right now. So
Izzy Too Chill in the chat is the only correct person here. I'm hoping for Mox versus Jay White in the finals.
I also would like to see Kenny win the. I think
he can win it in December, but Jay can win it in August,
But I want more Kenny versus Mox, so.
I'm tired of Mox.
I've been done with Mox, so.
And it's not that I don't like him. I do. But the same way people are talking about MJF, that's how I feel about Mox. Like,
it's time for Mox to take that vacation he's needed for when he had to come and replace Punk.
Yeah. I just think Mox, I mean, for any criticism you may have of MJF, I could say it 10 times more about Mox. Like, Mox has been on top of AEW. He is still the most protected guy in the company. He almost never loses. Like, I love the guy. He's a legend. I think he's one of the all-time greats. But I would like a break so that I could appreciate him a little more. I can't appreciate him when he's on TV every week.
My theory still is that if Sheamus comes in, you have him and Claudio beat the shit out of Mox. And that's you have.
God damn it, Yeti Malone. Blade wants Dean to go home. SMH. Stop it.
He's going to start screaming that every time John is on TV now.
Yeah. Come home, Dean. We want you home, Dean. I hope those guys got their ass kicked on the strip after that show. Okay. So Always Never says Creed and Kofi were heels at the end of their WWE time. They will be just fine. Yeah, I know they will be. And I think Creed will be funny no matter what role he's doing. Right now, he's got a pompadour mohawk with braids. I've never seen anything like it. He even has the little swirly like Superman curl in the front. The man's hair is a work of art currently. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. And then Blurry Line says, especially given the C3 spiritual ties to the FA Cup, it's a favored trend in the FA Cup for an unlikely team to punch above their weight to get deep into the tournament, which Blurry Line is referring to Nigel about that. So let's just talk about that real quick. So we have the Continental Challenge Cup. We had Jay White versus David Finlay. And Jay White looked really good in this match.
Yeah. Remember when you thought he was injured?
Yeah. Because he wasn't on the show because he was injured. However, I am going to sing a quick requiem for Jay White's pants. Jay, bring your pants back, the old ones that I loved. Pajama pants, they're not working.
That was
my song of sorrow for Jay White's pants.
That was something.
Pippin agrees. Jay White did look good except for his pants. I think that was one of my better singing performances, honestly. Skeward says, I think we'll see less of Mox either after the Cup Finals if he loses or if he loses early in the C2. And we see him maybe get ousted from the Death Riders. Why are we talking about Dean Douglas in the Dean. Got it. Dr. Fusion, I just get the weird feeling that something nasty is going to happen with Mox and losing the cup. Always Never has held strong to this. Death Riders are never imploding or breaking up. Blurry Line says, what I will say, RIP to any babyface team they come up against. People already want to cheer them, and they're being teamed with the coolest fucker in the company. They're going to be massively cheered. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to be heels. They're going to have to do some really, really heinous
But I feel
shit.
like AEW has had a really good, like, you could be a heel and still be cheered. Look at Jon Moxley. Like, that man is a heel but gets cheered. Swerve, a heel that gets cheered. Like, for some reason, it works in AEW.
Dr. Fusion brings it up, and I mean, I assumed this has to be where they're going with this, is that they're going to make a line of Jay White pajama pants.
I will buy.
I mean, they look comfortable. You
just hate them.
Beef Morto says, my shoot name is Jay, and I appreciate the ode to my pants. You're welcome, Beef Mortos. Jay Beef Mortos. Blade channeling Jack Black. I guess I was. Except Jack Black if he didn't know how to sing. Yeah, and Skewered Universe, we need tight pants, Jay White back immediately. Yeah, I agree. Blair Line 7, bang bang lemon PJs. Oh boy. Dean Winchester in the chat? No, we're not talking about the Winchesters.
I've been rewatching Supernatural. I love that.
Yes, yeah, I know you're a Supernatural fan, as some of our other friends are too, and I didn't want us to get stuck on that. Okay, Jay White defeated David Finlay with the Blade Runner to advance to the quarterfinals. Jay was nice enough to scare the shit out of me by selling a neck injury during the match, which I do believe he will continue to do throughout the rest of the tournament, so that he's really beat up in the final if he gets that far. You know, to show that he's really fighting from underneath, getting that baby face kind of, you know, he's so tough kind of thing. And Moxley, of course, if Jay has a neck issue, Moxley's going to target his neck like a motherfucker. I don't see any way Moxley doesn't make it to the finals. I think, Blurry Line, I agree with you in the sense that I could see Nigel McGuinness having a good run. I don't think he should be in the finals. One, nobody thinks he's going to beat Moxley. Nobody thinks that. Like, nobody would believe that. It just seems ridiculous on its face. Jay calling out Moxley particularly so often, so early, does feel like foreshadowing to me. I felt like Finley and Jay had a really good match, and Jay, looked more together. I loved that they ceremonially inducted Mick Foley into the Bang Bang Gang. That was pretty cool. So yeah,
I liked it. I kind of don't remember that. And now I'm wondering what I missed. I got very annoyed with this Dynamite, and kind of after Kenny. I stopped paying attention.
Oh, Jesus.
This also might have been.
Oh, Jesus.
So we had a late lunch. So that meant like at like 8:39, I got really hungry. So it might have also been when I went to go pick up dinner. Because I'm reading this going, I remember I started the match. I don't remember what happened afterwards.
That's what you get here at Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, is you get a Dynamite kind of recap by people who one person who watched the show and one person who might not have.
I don't have any recollection of this.
Then you were probably picking up dinner.
Sorry that I was hungry. All right. I'm not allowed to eat. I'm not allowed to eat, but Mick Foley 100% belongs in the Bang Bang Gang. It just makes sense. Just everything about like it just clicks. So I love it.
Jay's promos have been really sharp
so good.
Since he came back too.
Yeah,
like
Jay's dialed in.
He feels a lot more. Yeah, Jay's dialed in. Yeah, he really feels like the Switchblade from New Japan a little more than I still have a hard time seeing him as a babyface, but he is definitely like a tweener that plays to the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mox in a way.
Yeah.
And then the other match, Jon Moxley defeated Jungle Jack Perry. This was a really good match. And I think this is a great example. And once again, all credit due to Jon Moxley. This is how you get somebody over even when you're going to beat them. Is he was really slapping Jack around for a lot of the early part of the match. You know, I mean, he's just dominating him kind of and didn't respect him clearly. And Jack would fight back. But the last 5 minutes of that match, I guarantee you, we are going to remember the last 5 minutes of that match that Jack Perry lost more than we remember some of his title wins, than we remember some of his other, what on paper would be bigger moments.
Yeah.
Because this felt like the moment where Jack Perry started taking a step toward the main event.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long journey for him, I think, but he's started the march towards it.
Yeah. I also liked like the kind of like now I remember the end of this one, so I definitely know I was home and eating by this point.
It's the last match. I hope so.
Was when like Jack was on his knees and like was holding Mox's hand. You could just tell that there was like a big moment for Jack Perry. And I think Jack Perry has overcome a lot in the last couple of years and has been able to turn a really bad situation where people blamed him for a lot around. So good job, Jack Perry.
So I loved Scapegoat Jack Perry, right?
Yeah.
When they turned him babyface with kind of no explanation, I was like, really? Like, you're just going to do this? And yeah, maybe you'll get a pop for like a night or something. But like, what are you going to do in 2 weeks, right? And then they started doing those bus promos with him where like Luchasaurus is driving him around on the bus and he's on the PA cutting a promo. And he's like, I'm Jack Perry. And if you don't like that, fuck you. And I was like, that is money. That is money. Because that's like splitting the difference between Jungle Boy and Scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know,
he's
it's
right
like
in the middle right now.
Combining the two.
Yeah.
And it feels like the most authentic version of who he probably really is. You know,
I love that he's still like a little elite kid too. Like he's still a part of the elite. Like they still have his back and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's overcome a lot. So
2026 is the year I've seen Jack Perry. Like, I'm like, oh, he's going to be a world champion. Like I can see it now. Like he's not like an upper mid card guy for long. Like he's on his way to the main event.
Him and MJF and Darby have continued to prove why they are why they were pillars. It's crazy to think how far they have come, and then someone is still coasting on being a pillar while not improving. I don't know who I'm referring to.
They're not even on TV, honestly.
Thank God.
Pippin says, would have been a better match if Jack won. I'm going to counter that. I thought
they were, because why was it the last match?
It would have felt better in the moment, but I think it would have been kind of a hot shot move to do. To have Moxley lose in the first round. Like, the maximum amount of drama to get out of Moxley losing is like either at the very end or close to the end, where it looks like you definitely think he's going to the finals and then he doesn't. And that's like, whoa, like huge upset, something like that. You know, maybe Nigel beats him in the semifinals and then it's Jay White versus Nigel or something, you know? Blurry Line makes a great point. Mox is maybe the best wrestler there is for making someone look good in defeat. He's very good at it.
I would also argue Kenny Omega. They are two of the, if you are going to lose, I would want to lose to Kenny or John. Even though I have major John Moxley fatigue. That's still someone I would want to lose to. Because you're just going to look good.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I mean, it's so weird to talk about being sick of somebody that I like so much. Because I really do. I love John Moxley. But I'm just tired of him right now. I'm just, like, over it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him always winning. It's not that he beats my faves. It's not any of that. It's like he beats everybody.
Everyone.
He's more dominant than whoever the world champion is at any given time. He's more dominant now than he was last year when he was in the biggest story in the company.
Yeah.
You know? I understand why Tony Khan, like, Mox is his go-to guy, but, like, at a certain point, it kind of affects the product.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a hardcore fan, so, like, maybe my opinion isn't the most important thing, but, like,
it's at some point we have to move on from John Moxley. He's not always going to be an active wrestler.
And shouldn't always be at the top of the card, you know?
Yeah.
Swerve, I mean, look at Swerve and Hangman right now. They're in trios, you know? Always Never says he always wins, and that isn't exciting. Yeah. I mean, like, when they booked Bandido versus Moxley, we all knew Bandido had no chance of winning, you know? Dr. Fusion says Mox shouldn't be in the finals. Blair Line says Mox so rarely loses that when he loses clean, you really have to build that match up way more. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how I knew there was no way Jack was going to win. You know it. 5484 says married to Anna Jay makes you a heel. Go with it, Jack. I don't think they're married, are they?
No,
but
I don't think so.
They've been together a long time.
They could have gotten married. Who the fuck knows? They're kind of...
Who the fuck knows anymore? Who knows? I know nothing. Okay. So, yeah, they both advanced. Jay White's calling out John Moxley. I think that's some foreshadowing. I really do. But the show kicked off, Books.
Yeah.
Your favorite part of the show.
Oh, the best part of the show.
The part I know you saw. Will Ospreay comes out.
I can't believe. We are not calling him by his proper birth name. That bitch boy, Will Ospreay. God.
Billiam Ospreay came out.
Bitch boy.
And he came out and he's, told a little story about last time he was in Mexico. It was to hear that his grandfather had died and that it broke his heart. But his granddad would tell him, like, go do a flip, go, get back up, go get him, And I thought it was a good promo. Yeah, Blurry Line says he doesn't like your hatred of the British.
Listen, give me the Brawling Birds every day of the week. It is just that bitch boy Will Ospreay who is on some other level of being a little bitch boy. Like,
I'm on another level, bruv.
Like, who are you, Will Ospreay? Like, who are you?
You're just mad because he's going to beat Kenny.
No, I don't. I love that. I love this. This is what, excuse me, I have been calling this from the start that it was going to be Kenny versus Will Ospreay with Will winning.
Excuse me, like 2 weeks ago, you were pitching Kenny winning.
Okay, I would love for Kenny to win and stay winning. But I'm the one who said it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All In. I have said this for fucking months. I just don't like Will Ospreay slapping Kenny because Kenny had the nerve to be sick and almost die and not be able to be there all the time?
Professor Degree says, sure. We all want Mox to go away. We all want Mox to take a break, but I want you to think about the internet in the meantime. Dean's coming home. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so Will comes out and he's like, where was Kenny last week? Which I think is a very valid question that a lot of people had. I certainly did. Brian Alvarez, by the way, speculated that it was about food safety, that people always get sick when they go to Mexico, and that the AEW crew always gets sick when they go to Mexico. Somebody, even when they're eating in nice restaurants or whatever. I'm not speaking from my own knowledge or experience, so please don't crucify me for saying this. But that's a serious concern for Kenny Omega. And like his best guess was that Kenny probably just didn't want to take the chance that he would get. How many
feet of his intestines? Can we give Omega like I know we all joke about the diverticulitis, but we really have to give like when we were like I joke that Kenny has not come to North Carolina because this motherfucker used to use North Carolina in his entrance. Oh, because I heard that when I was rewatching, that episode I was watching where he's like, he once wrestled in North Carolina. Yeah, when was the last time, Kenny? Like, he just hates North Carolina. Mm-hmm. But we have to understand this man almost died. And he can't even enjoy his Wendy's anymore. So can we, be nice to him?
So Will's calling out Kenny Omega. And
like a bitch boy.
And says, why don't you come on out here, Kenny? And then we get the brown note. Don Callis walks out. And kind of just tells the story of on day one, watching this company, neither one of us, Will or Don, were here. But whereas you were looking at a place to come and wrestle, I was looking at a place to come and exploit. And I found the perfect weapon to exploit this place with. And it was Kenny Omega until Kenny decided he didn't need me anymore. Yeah. Books in the chat, by the way, says our food is questionable. Yeah, Taylor Farms. We have exploding diarrhea.
I was talking about North Carolina.
In this country right now.
Our food is...
Oh, okay.
It's all fried. The first time I came to North Carolina, I had to go to Walmart to literally get a green juice because every vegetable was fried.
So Don is basically then saying and then I brought you here, Will. I booked that match with you and Kenny. And basically... said, I brought you here, and then, you kind of betrayed me too, because you didn't think you needed me.
No one needs Don.
And then the Don Callis family started attacking Will from behind, Trent and Rocky, who are my favorite schmucks in AEW now. I just love that they are just dummies who get beat up, and they dress like Miami Vice. It makes no sense, and I love it. I just love it. Who else? Jake Doyle was with them, and he was way behind them because they run way faster than he does. Mark Davis was also out there. And so they're all beating down Ospreay, and Kenny's music hits, and Kenny runs down to the ring with a pipe, and he starts hitting people with the pipe, runs everybody out of there. And then he made it look like he was going to hit Will with the pipe, and Will flinches just like Kenny did the week before. And Kenny's kind of going in that one motion, almost saying it sucks that I kind of thought about that for a minute, doesn't it? Just like Will thought about bagging him up at Redemption. And so then he kind of cuts this promo of you're reckless. You get out of control because you're starting fights with everybody when we have this big match coming up. And this is not the version of you that I want, Will.
What? Tell me when Kenny's telling lies.
I know. No, it's true. But Kenny's delivery is a lot more like anime. A lot more like anime villain. Look at Books. Books is busting out in the sweat over here. Good Lord.
God. I've wanted this version of Kenny back for so fucking long. So when he crouched down and did that, I was like, that is my cleaner right there. The cleaner is back.
Also, he wore that jacket that sold out in 14 seconds, and it made me sad.
I literally keep going on the Shop AEW website to see if it's been restocked. Yeah,
no, it's just gone, man. And basically, Kenny said Ospreay is getting sloppy, which he kind of is. Mm-hmm. My friend Books would have said this is Sephiroth coded.
It's so Sephiroth coded. What do you mean?
But Kenny has a point here. Will is kind of his willingness to destroy himself is kind of becoming a problem for him, and Kenny's like, you can't do that if you're going to beat me. So Kenny doesn't want any excuses. Ospreay doesn't want Kenny treating him like a kid who needs protecting. He said, you won't need to help me again. Thank you. And then he shoves the mic into Kenny and walks out.
Ungrateful little bitch boy. And you guys wonder why I call him a bitch boy. He's ungrateful. Kenny, he acts like Kenny doesn't give a shit about him. And here Kenny is coming out to save him yet again from him running his fucking bitch boy mouth.
Blurry Line says, I think the cadence is on purpose, Kenny's cadence, especially considering the kinds of things that a UK crowd would like/dislike. Skewered Universe says, do we get the Kenny Omega broom dancers back at all?
I already put in my application.
So did I. So are we going to be the broom dancers?
Maybe.
Yeah. Sweep.
Actually, I probably wouldn't. I'm probably on a watch list for AEW. Should not be put near Kenny Omega.
Well, yeah, because you sent the request to his home address, Books. Will's promos being very authentic and conversational are going to make him even more of a babyface of the crowd. And Kenny talking in a very stagey manner is not something that folks here will like. I think they're like pallbearers. You need to all be the same height. The broom people. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'm taller than Books. I bet I'm taller than Books. Blade won't even clean up the chairs after we record Pro Wrestling Forever. He's not going to be a broom girl. What? Skewered Universe also applied to be a broom girl. This is not fair.
I am the only girl.
Not fair. So, to me, this didn't change my opinion on what's going to happen at all, but I've liked the build a lot since Redemption.
Again, playing into the mentoree, the history between them has been so fucking good. They are making you question though, is Kenny going to win? Is Ospreay going to be too reckless? I gotta give them credit for that because they are making you think it can go either way. I still think it's going to be Ospreay, but they are making you question it. And
Books, it's going to be Ospreay. Okay.
I know it's going to be Ospreay, but I'm just saying they're doing a really good job.
I can feel the cope.
They are doing a very good
cope.
Listen,
just kind of sneaking through your words.
That to return, my wayward sons to return. I want Kenny to lose. I don't want the Bucks to be tag team champs. I want them to come out to carry on my wayward son again. That's what I want.
All right.
All right.
I'm
just saying.
If you believe it, maybe one day I will.
I'm just saying they are doing a very good job at making you think Kenny has a chance of retaining.
I think you've inspired Skewered Universe because he said, hey, Book, sometimes I feel like a pretty woman. Yeah. Skewered Universe is a very beautiful woman. You should see him. Very beautiful. Okay. Well, the chat's getting pretty spicy.
I know.
People talking about skid marks in there.
I understand
says
this.
Kenny has no chance.
Saying, they're letting you believe Kenny has a chance by Will being reckless.
Willow was taping a interview with Renee, and Mercedes just beat her ass right in the middle of it, and then called her a dumb bitch and walked off. And that was kind of cool.
Even though I
like Mercedes.
That was ruined.
She's neat.
By a disrespectful little shit.
Because she posted it on live?
Because there was a disrespectful little shit in the audience.
Yeah, so there was the asshole telling Sasha to come home. Guys, seriously, you haven't moved on. It's been years. She literally demanded her release and didn't wrestle for 8 months so that she could get out of her contract.
Out.
Yeah. And she never came back. Yeah, she's not going anywhere. And
I have
her
a
name's
question.
Mercedes.
Do I have nice things to say about Mercedes? Don't I always? I am a Mercedes stan.
I'm not suggesting anything less, Books. Don't get violent, okay? Don't look at.
But you're
I
the
see
one
the
who
look
says,
in your
does
eyes
Books
right
still
now.
have nice things? Oh, okay. Do I still have nice things to say about Mercedes? Yes, I do, because Mercedes is a fucking queen. Fuck Willow. Willow's from Long Island. I'd rather have a Boston champion, and this is coming from a New Yorker, than a Long Island champion.
Wow. That is some hate. Fucking hate. So you must have been really pissed off during Statlander's reign too.
Oh yeah. Fucking I hate Long Island.
Yeah. Blairy Line says, I used to sweep up horse shit and I have lovely hair. Confirmed. So I should be a broom girl. Blairy, and you're in the right country. So, I mean, it's all stacking up well for you, pal. It's all stacking up well. So are you saying Books is going to have so much cope she'd have to form a team with Christian Cage? I worry for Christian in that situation because I don't think Books would. I think Books would be very distracted as a tag team partner in that situation. She's referred to Christian as Zaddy. Like,
he is a daddy.
Many times.
He is a daddy. I'm not. Am I telling lies? He is a daddy.
The Tobro says, I think they're doing a better job of making you think Willow has a chance. I agree. Skewered Universe, they asked for her to come home, but they called her every terrible thing you can think of while she was there, and worse after she left. I have it from a reliable source that was there that when she wrestles in the main event of Collision, those same people are flipping her off to her face and screaming at her. So yeah, it's great. Izzy Too Chill says, I'm ready for Tekla to come back. Izzy, I agree.
I miss my queen. My toxic.
I do feel like we're going to get Statlander and Persephone probably on the buy-in.
I think so.
I think that's where we're going. It says, never trust someone who smiles all the time. Mama always said the devil comes with a smile.
She's too happy.
Willow
all the time.
is the new MJF.
She's too happy.
It says, yeah.
Too happy.
Too Fat to Cook says, CEO. Yeah, I'm really not sure who's winning that match. And they have done a good job of making me think there's at least a possibility that Willow's going to win.
God, I really want Mercedes to be champion because it'll piss so many people, little crybabies, off.
I think they've done such a good job painting the picture that Willow gets under Mercedes' skin so much. Like the hatred of her is so strong that kind of like with Ospreay, almost like it's almost distracting to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's going to make a difference in the match. Like she's going to fuck up because she gets too caught up in the hatred of Willow. I wonder. I don't know. Let's see what else. MJF beat Nick Wayne and Speedball Mike Bailey.
I have a question. What happened to Nick Wayne? I feel very gross for having thoughts about Nick Wayne and him being he came out and he was just oozing like
he's got aura.
And I was like, when did Nick Wayne become hot?
Like at the beginning of this year when he came back full time from his injury, because he had made a few appearances, but when he came back, there was something just totally different about him. He's put on some muscle. Quite a bit, actually.
He's went from a little boy to a man all of a sudden.
He's holding himself like a star, like a real deal star right now. I feel
really gross because he's what, 20?
20, yeah, he might be 20 or 21. Yeah. First, Matt Jackson is baby girl.
He is a baby
Christian
girl.
is daddy. How hard is that to understand?
Nick Wayne is 21.
The Tobero, does that mean you think Per Se leaves with the TBS title after the 4-way? I don't know. I wouldn't mind the TBS bouncing around a little bit just because Mercedes held it for so long that it's okay if it moves around and you give that rub to a few more people. I want Per Se to have it all.
I'm all for belts moving around quicker. AEW has had a very bad run of having belts on people way too long.
You're now being called a cradle robber and fucking coog.
It's grossing me out that I was just like, what happened to Nick Wayne? Like this cute little baby.
Too Fat makes a good point. I'm afraid Nick is beating Bandido for the belt. Guess what, Too Fat? I want him to. Because Bandido needs to be liberated of the Ring of Honor title, just like Athena does. They need to just be done with those belts so that they can do something new.
Yeah. Again, they have a really bad habit of putting belts on people way too long.
Did you notice that Bandido, for the first time in I don't know how long, He never did this when he was the tag team champion with Brody. He came out with just the trios title. He didn't have the Ring of Honor title with him. I want to see a guy like Nick Wayne, who I think would be fantastic as the champion. Like everything that you ever hoped for Sammy Guevara when you did like him
is Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne actually is that. But like Nick Wayne is that.
Nick Wayne is the new pillar. He is replacing Sammy Guevara.
It just shows you how stacked AEW is for like the next 20 years. Like like the talent they have right now, if they just hold on to most of them, they're stacked. I mean, we're not even talking about guys like Takeshita. We're not even talking about Kyle Fletcher or, Okada's got another 10 years, probably, Skewered Universe, I just want to see the TBS and TNT titles defended on TV more often since they are essentially television titles. 100% agree with you, Frank.
I would love to see them defended on the correct channels.
I think, we were talking about this on Pro Wrestling Forever on Monday. Billy was in the chat talking about this, is that the TV titles, the TNT and the TBS title are TV titles, right? And I loved the TV title back in the day because they defended it every week. And they had a 15-minute time limit. And if you went to a draw, it was kind of like the champion won. Like, it was kind of like a, what do they call that? A challenge match of some type. Like if they beat you, they get a title shot. If you go to a draw, it's like the champion won, basically. The Tobero wants Kyrie to come in and beat Athena for the belt. I still think Kyrie and Tekla would be money.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past her showing up at some point because she's also hinting at it. So.
Oh, thank you. The Tobero proving ground match. Thank you. It's like a fancy way of saying non-title match. Professor Degree says Nick Wayne is a prodigy. Of course he's going to beat Bandido. It's a perfect person for Bandido to put over. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. Is he too chill? Says Nick Wayne will be the new leader of the Death Rider.
Oh, yes, please.
I'd be okay with Nick winning the belt from Bandido, says the Tobero. And it would be such a huge win for Nick. It'd be like the biggest win of his career, And Bandido, whatever, like he can brush that off and keep going pretty easily. Blurry Line says Tekla needs an all-in match. So I have a thought about that. I would settle for a big segment of Tekla, like an in-ring promo of some kind or something where Kyrie comes out and challenges her, like where she is the foil for a big new free agent showing up. Blurry Line says, like, if she doesn't get one, fuck this company in this instance. Yeah. I just think Tekla is a huge star and you need to present her that way. And it's not uncommon for people after they lose the belt to take some time away from TV, but she's been gone 2-3 weeks now. Like, get her back, it's time. So anyway, MJF, Nick Wayne, and Speedball had a really great match. Excellent showing from everybody. Blurry Line had brought up a point in a private chat that Speedball has really a case to make, low-key case for Wrestler of the Year. He doesn't win all the time, but he's like the MVP of every match he's in. Like he's
not had a bad match, at all. Like he's so good. Like
there is some crazy record that he holds with Meltzer. It was during WrestleMania weekend one year. He wrestled like 7 matches over the weekend and had 5 5-star matches in like 3 days. That's insane.
As much as I would love for Speedball to hold a belt, they don't need one. Like, being that good and not needing to hold a belt is very, very rare talent.
Yeti Malone says, why do we want to ban Dido? Her collaboration with Eminem was great. These are the call, I'm wondering why. Too fat to cook. I want Speedball to win the gauntlet. I'd be good with it. Blurry Line, tell me a Speedball match where he wasn't the best performer in there and wasn't the one putting in the most effort. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can find one. So basically, MJF, plays this like a smart main event guy would. He waits for Speedball to land a killing blow on Nick Wayne. Then he throws Speedball out of the ring and fucking submits Nick Wayne. Nobody looks weak in this finish. Everybody looks great. And MJF is going to be number 2 in the Casino Gauntlet against Andrade. And I think those two, neither one of them is going to win the Gauntlet. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know who I have winning right now. I don't know who you're going to have go up.
We don't even know who all is going to be in it.
Yeah, I don't know who you have. I don't know if we're going to get like a surprise entrance, like a return. Maybe Buddy Matthews returns.
I think Buddy Matthews could very well return. Yes. Yes.
That one.
Maybe you were saying how excited you are for Malachi Black to come back. So.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. I know he's one of your faves. So
love him.
Maybe Zelino come with him. Huh?
Oh yeah, great.
But Tobero makes a fair point. I love Speedball, but I want to see more depth to his character. He's a bit one-dimensional at the moment. Happy-go-lucky, nice guy. I'd like to see some depth. As much as it pains me to say that, I feel that way about Bandido just a little bit too, where I would like to see more depth to Bandido. Now, when he did that interview with Renee where they were eating Mexican food together, that was great. That was really, really cool. It added some dimension to Bandido. I just want them to do that on television, not on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. I agree with the Tobero. If Malachi comes back, he'll probably team with Buddy and feud with Brodito. Yeah, I think so. That's what I would do. Too Fat to Cook. Tommy End is going to TNA. Don't quote me, LOL.
As long as he learns how to take a pin and watches what Andrade is doing and realizes sometimes you got to swallow your fucking pride. And that's what will make you a main eventer. So
I'm asking the chat, you guys let us know. Who do you guys want to win the Gauntlet? You can pick anybody. You know, the people who are already in other matches probably aren't going to be in the Gauntlet. So if you pick them, you're probably wrong. I would like to know. What if Hangman entered in one?
No, I mean, I also think keeping Hangman out of the main title scene right now is a smart idea. Like, they need to get new blood into the main event.
Seeing Swerve and Hangman and all those guys in the ring together was like, wow. Like, this is a side story that doesn't even involve the world title.
Yeah.
Like, and you have all that star power. You have Bandido, who they've invested so much in this year and last year. You have Brody, who they've invested a ton in. You have Trevor, who they've invested a ton in. You have Swerve, who they've invested a ton in. And it's not even like a main event program, but it's maybe the program that's the most exciting to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that happening over the trios titles. That's wild. That is crazy. Blurry Line makes a fair point. Andrade. I just think you strike while he's at his hottest. I mean, yeah, I can see that.
I would like to see. I just don't know who's the most logical to go up against Will Ospreay right away, because I would have said Kyle Fletcher, but I think they're going to wait to do Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. It says probably not going to happen, but Claudio. I have to agree. I don't think it's going to happen, but I do love Claudio. I know quite a few people who are like, Claudio should have a world title reign. And I'm like, no, not really. Like, I love Claudio. That's just not kind of his role.
Yeah. And I don't think Claudio wants that. Like, you can kind of tell when people are very much like very happy with being where they're at. And he's someone who's always given me that vibe.
Yeah, and Blurry Line, points out he had an ROH world title reign. He had 2, actually. I love Claudio. Don't get me wrong. Izzy Too Chill also picked Claudio. The Tobero says, how could he not? But also, have you ever known anyone from the Netherlands? We must be talking about Malachi here. The few people I've worked with from there have had very clear ideas of what they want to do, and they're not the easiest to get to compromise. That's interesting. Okay. The Tobero also adds, whoever wins isn't going to beat Billiam. He will hold it for a while. Whoever it is
100%.
has to be someone who can showcase him. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope it's not MJF. That's all. Because I could see MJF being a challenger for Will and losing. Like, I don't think he would beat Will, but I could see him being pretty quick behind who, I could see MJF challenging the champion. Blair Line, I think that's a good world title reign for him. Yeah, I think Claudio as ROH champion was great. Tobero, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mox so they could get to that feud. Oh, Moxley and Will. I was thinking earlier in this conversation, the Death Riders have been really quiet as it relates to Will. Do you really think that's over?
No,
I don't.
I think they're going to let it. They're going to let it sit for a while. They're going to let Will think he's comfortable first.
Yeah. It says, I'm okay with know your role, but if Darby can get a small run, why can't Claudio? I mean, I just think Darby has more of a star vibe than Claudio, and it's an intangible thing. It's really not about talent or about skill. Like, I think Claudio is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I just, Pac is the same thing. I just think they kind of accept their position on the card for what it is. And,
or hear me out. Sheamus comes in and they get a tag team run.
Sheamus?
Yes.
You really want Sheamus? Wow.
I liked them together. And there's some people I just feel bad at how they've been treated. And I'm like, I want them to go out on a better.
Now, what I would say to some of the other people who are talking about Claudio is seeing Claudio have a TNT title run, seeing Claudio have an international title run. I would love that. I think that would be awesome. Professor Degree says, I wouldn't argue with Pac winning. I wouldn't either. And I would love to see Pac with the international title again. That'd be dope. Buddy Matthews, that's a definite possibility. I think that's definitely a possibility. So there's lots of interesting options there. Plus, there's going to be some surprises. There always is in these things at All In, certainly. So Kevin Knight defeated Chris Jericho. A friend of mine who I love dearly was kind of mad that Jericho looked so strong in this match. Kind of thought Kevin Knight should dominate him or whatever. And I'm like, they're just not going to do that with Chris Jericho. Like, he makes way too much money to be just like a literal jobber. Like, they're not going to job him like that.
Yeah, no. It's also Chris Jericho. Like, no matter how you feel about him, he's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, and I think Kevin is doing something really interesting. There isn't a lot of chicken shit heels in the business anymore. Most people are like cool heels,
Yeah.
like Mox or somebody like that, where they're badasses. So you cheer them even though they're heels. Eddie was getting a lot of cheers when he was a heel. I think that's why they turned him babyface. But Kevin Knight is trying to get booed, and I knew he was going to win. I'm like, there's no fucking way you have him have that match with Kenny at Redemption and then lose to Chris Jericho on a Dynamite. Like, no, That's not happening. So my buddy was kind of pissed that Kevin needed Don Callis to help him win. And I'm like, but to me, that's just his character. You know what I mean? Like, he's a shitty heel. And we had a broader conversation about that we'll have to have on the show sometime. But I didn't have any problem with this match at all. I thought Kevin was going to win. He tied Darby's record of most title defenses of the TNT title. Maybe he has to catch Fletcher still, but he's close. Professor Degree makes a very good point. The thing about pro wrestlers is that the older and more broken down they get, the more powerful they become. Yeah, it's that old man strength. Because like Sting was undefeated. But yeah, once you become a legend, you barely ever lose. Professor Degree, it doesn't make sense, but it's true. Michael Oku in the Gauntlet would be great. Yes, Michael Oku takes the scariest bumps of anybody I've ever seen. He's just, aside from Darby. So Kevin Knight wins. Darby calls him out. They're going to have, for the TNT Championship at Wembley, a Falls Count Anywhere match. I think that Kevin needs to win clean.
Yes.
Because not only is he beating Darby, he's beating a very recently world champion.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin Knight's
and
another
that's
one.
Clearly, yeah, and they love Kevin Knight. Like, Tony obviously loves Kevin Knight. So I think Kevin is absolutely, I would like to see Kevin get the win in that match.
Yeah.
Darby's one of those dudes, like, he's made, he's set. Yeah. He's a star no matter what he does.
Darby doesn't need the wins like that. Kevin Knight needs a clean win. Kevin is another pillar. Like, this man he purposely, AEW was his dream. I think he's going to be someone who's there for a very long time. So keep building him the way they are. And I'm, working with legends is how you grow, unfortunately. So,
of course.
Like,
yeah. I mean, look, I know in today's world, Chris Jericho is like the enemy for so many people. Like, they just hate his fucking guts. But at the end of the day, if you think Chris Jericho doesn't have something to teach a guy like Kevin Knight, you're out of your mind. All right.
Yeah.
This is.
And I said this when we were like debating if Jericho should stay. I wanted him to stay because the knowledge he has is invaluable. Like, we may not like Chris Jericho the person, but Chris Jericho the wrestler, Chris Jericho the veteran is very much needed behind the scenes there. So,
well, and this happened with a lot of guys who were legends who were getting older. Before we knew what a douchebag he was and a terrible person, Ric Flair, when he was older and still wrestling, like in his mid-50s, like Jericho is now, and still, on TV every week, people were kind of the same way with him. He just looked old. He could still have a good match here and there. I thought Jericho's match with Ciampa a couple weeks ago was great, but like, I'm not a big fan of his magician pants, sparkly magician pants. And then him calling himself Jericho instead of Chris Jericho just makes him seem more like a magician to me. And I'm kind of like, if he starts doing magic during his match, like he pulls a rabbit out of the turnbuckle or something, that would be entertaining. I would support it. But he definitely is coming across very magician-like. And he's got those low-rise sparkly pants. And Kaylee was saying, like, those pants are holding on for dear life. And what we don't need is a bunch of Jericho crack.
No,
nobody needs that.
We don't.
So, like, the way some ladies have to tape their boobs to keep them from popping out.
Tape your pants up.
Jericho may have to be taping his pants up. Yeah. Tobero makes a good point. I could easily see Sheamus be there. Being in the UK at Wembley, I'm sure he could retire after that. Yeah. The Tobero says Jericho's got Tanahashi ass. He does. Blurry Line's still talking about Jericho's icky hammies. When Chris came out in the shorts on Grand Slam Mexico, he's got crack tape. Yep. Professor Degree says Darby has been a star maker since day one in his title run. Makes that even more true. Kevin going over Darby is one more rung in the dude's ladder to stardom.
Yeah.
And Jericho has a magician's mustache too, Professor Degree points out, which he does. I think he's trying to look like a magician. I literally think he is. That's what he's doing. Blurry Line says he doesn't need Jericho's leather cheeks. And the Tobero says, which is a lot better than Nana's ass, which constantly gets shown on camera. Yeah, Nana sags his pants so much that they have fallen off and his ass has been exposed plenty of times. It was announced that Kyle Fletcher was a little upset because he thought he was going to have to defend his title against Konosuke Takeshita, but Don Callis assured him that it's not just that he got something in return. And that is that Okada will also be in the match. And Fletcher's like, how does that help me, Don? And Don's like, but it's good for the belt stays in the family no matter what. I think Takeshita is going to win this one because those two. I like that Fletcher betrayed Takeshita and immediately sees what a mistake he made and hates Okada openly now. Like he just hates him. And Okada showing up and being like, hey, Kyle, I just want you to know the belt is going to stay in the family. And Kyle's like, fuck you. Like, I hate this guy.
It's going to lead to a bigger feud between Fletcher and Okada.
Yeah, and Fletcher might end up turning babyface, which he will be a massive babyface if he turns.
Yes.
Absolutely massive.
Especially if he keeps the pink gear and shit. Like.
That flower, like, headdress thing he came out with. I'm like, this dude is crossing. He's just gender bending, like, everything at his heart's desire. And I think that is so fucking cool. This is a dude who is extremely secure in himself. And I think that's really probably very inspiring for a lot of people out there. Blair Line makes a very good point. He always called himself the wizard, Chris Jericho. I'm a wizard. So yeah, him dressing like a magician makes a lot of sense. And Tobero says, I really want to get to Fletcher being his own guy. He doesn't need Don anymore.
No, he doesn't. Especially because we know this is also going to lead to Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Like, I think Will needs a step back away from the Don Callis family as well. Like,
yeah. So real quick, women's division stuff. Chris Statlander beat Viva Van. I was really happy to see Viva get a match on Dynamite. It could have been longer, but you know what? It's a start for Viva. Her being booked on the show is a good sign, and I would like to see more of her. She's a very good wrestler and a legit pioneer of Vietnamese wrestling. And I think that like she's going to end up being a legend no matter what she does. If you ever want to hear the story of Southeast Asian wrestling, it only started about 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I interviewed with my buddy Justin, Jake De Leon, who's from the Philippines. And he told us how they learned how to wrestle. And you wouldn't believe it. So go back into the Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out archives and listen to that interview because it's crazy. It is a crazy story. But Viva Van was most certainly a part of that as well. So very, very cool stuff. Chris Jericho just made a documentary about Southeast Asian wrestling and how it came to be. So check that out as well. I think that's really cool that he produced that. And then Maya World and Thunder Rosa beat Hikaru Shida and Persephone. Very fun match. I love the continued integration of CMLL talent into AEW. Like it's just a holistic thing. Mm-hmm. And they just do it like it's not even that big a deal anymore. I love seeing Persephone on my screen. I want whatever Tony will give her, give it to her. Just give it to her. Like, give her a bunch of money, sign her to a long, long deal, and build this division with, like, she's one of your biggest stars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Persephone is the shit. Also, there was a promo afterwards where Shida was cutting a promo and really mad that she got pinned, and Persephone was openly mocking her behind her back. I think Persephone being the more evil one of the two is great.
Very funny. Yes, I love it.
Yeah. So I would really like to see more of Persephone. I would love to see. I'm really excited for the 4-way at the show this next week here. Stat, Shida, Maya World, and Persephone. Would love to see. I mean, if they do a title change, like in Persephone were to win, I wouldn't be upset at all. If he loses, he should just go for the AEW title. If Ospreay wins, yeah, I think Kyle would be a challenger for Will as champion for sure. I really like that we kind of had this seamless segment between a women's match, an in-ring promo, and another women's match. Yeah, well, and Persephone and Shida coming out while Stat was still in the ring. That was a nice touch.
Tony's like, finally not using his brain again.
Starting to. You know, I would still like more, but I appreciate more, but, that.
You know, he's trying.
Yeah. We're getting something. Yeah, we've made some progress, especially one with so much representation. Agreed. Toblerone tells Blair Line, I'd love to see him actually go after Kevin to get his TNT title back. They have teased tension there. So maybe Kevin Knight becomes Don Callis's like golden goose after Fletcher leaves. I can see that, but I thought Knight was going to be involved with Swerve somehow. So no idea what's happening there. Yeti Malone says, Viva Van. Blair Line says it very well. We lost Stephanie Vicker. We won Tekla. We got to make sure we win with Per Se too. Yes.
The only good thing is I think we are all seeing what's happening at the other company. And I think that is very much helping people realize the grass isn't green.
AEW's got all of the momentum right now.
Yeah.
Just all of it. I mean, they've got all the momentum as far as goodwill with their fan base. More and more people checking AEW out. I see it in threads constantly. The Tobero, Knight and Okada have history, right? Weren't they stablemates in NJPW? Was Kevin Knight in Chaos? I don't know. But yeah, that's a great question. I hadn't really thought about that because I don't think Kushida was in Chaos. Maybe he was. Professor Degree says, not since the golden era of Tekla has a woman grappler captivated my heart and soul and simultaneously terrified me like Persephone. The golden era of Tekla, which was approximately 2 weeks ago. Blurry Line, I feel like Kevin, the Him Bros, and RPG are the only ones who really still need Dawn. Maybe Okada for fun, but he doesn't need it. Okada, I think, works with Dawn because they're both funny and they're both assholes. And I don't want Okada like being a nice dude. You know what I mean? Books, we got to wrap this up. But yeah, I do got to say, I think MJF and Andrade are headed for a singles feud proper after this. And I think
I hope so.
I would be surprised if MJF did not put Andrade over clean. I think he probably will. And maybe take a break. I think
go on that honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Alicia Toots posting pictures from Europe, you know, so no idea what's going on there. Swerve, Kofi, and Creed. I'm very excited about that possibility. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. You're so excited. You're starting to yawn. And I'm so excited.
I told you the nap made me tired.
I know.
It's not you guys.
You had a coffee, for God's sake.
Okay, but I don't think I worked next to a Starbucks in high school, which meant that at 3:00 I went and got a coffee, and then I went again at 7, and then I got one before closing so I could go home and do my homework. So when I say I've had a coffee addiction since I was 16, this does the bare minimum. Like, people are like, oh my God, there's 200 milligrams of caffeine. So they're like, oh, you don't get palpitations? No. It keeps me awake for about an hour.
You know, it says hair plugs are very time consuming. Yeah. So yeah, Max may need some time. But books, I'm very excited for Jobber Underground. It is very close to having its website published. I want you all to see the cool merch we're going to be having for you. And this sit down, shut up, mark out shirt is part of it. And we will also have a Patreon up soon. We're shooting to be launched next week if we can be. But we will keep you updated as that comes to pass. But very excited for the new venture to be up and running. So make sure you go to Jobber Underground on Threads, on Instagram, and Blue Sky. Give us a follow there. It'd mean a lot to us. It's a big help because it's kind of a zombie account right now. We got about 100 followers on Threads. We have almost no followers on Blue Sky and like 0 followers on Instagram because I don't even think I put a bio on Instagram yet. Please give us a follow over there because it is a legit account. And I'm very excited to share that with you. But until next time, I'm Blade Daly.
And I'm Bugs.
Pro wrestling forever.